Matching hundreds. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff's right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. Bringing him out is their new quarterback in 2018. Of course, came over from Kansas City. It's the 14-year veteran Alex Smith.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Smith on first down. And his first look is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson. And it's second down. Offensive starters time, Charles, for the Washington Redskins.
Let's look at Josh Doxson, the wide receiver out of TCU. Grew up in Fort Worth. His mom works at the university as a vice president. He actually went to Wyoming first, transferred back to TCU, and boy, is he a high flyer. Throw it up in the air, he'll go up and get it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
I said,
now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team. All right, anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Dotson with a grab over the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Reset. Hey, easy. Hey, where y'all going?
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. Great move by Montgomery. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 23 carries, 134 yards, and the score, 2.
So, partner, 2 games worth, he's leading the league in rushing, so he's now trending. Is that what they talk about nowadays? You talk about trending? That's what he's doing. He'd like to continue it here in this game.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, was his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Hurry up. You reset. Hey, easy. Hey.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Finding room inside the 40. And finally, wrestled down at the 11. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 44 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Go. Zoom. Hey, check 26.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
318. Get reset. Hey, easy. Hey, we're not going. 319.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Still first down.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Now Pirine. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The numbers for Pirine at last week's game. 15 carries, 108 for the yardage and the score, too.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Right back to him on first down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. And, you know, he may not have the franchise tag, but I bet they're relieved to have that deal done, keep him around.
And he's a good guy, a valuable player to them, and they wanted to make sure they had him around. Good team chemistry, always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Now it's Smith. Setting up the screen to Kelly. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Get reset. Hey, easy.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll power his way up near the 25. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out.
That's fine. Yeah. Hurry up. Hey, check 26. 319.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or a man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Yeah, let's go. Come on. Get reset. Hey, easy.
Rodgers now on first down. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
After the interception, here's Smith. Completes it right side to Dodson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They run with it. It's Kelly. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed them. So now it brings up a third down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
Now Kelly calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are. But on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Ty Montgomery in the offense getting set for their next drive. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got Lewis. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers finding his tight end, Graham. Packer 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Rodgers hands to Montgomery. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Rodgers looking to throw on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, rolling the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. Second quarter here. He has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
So far, just the single catch. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Adams. And he lost the football, and the Redskins scoop it. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
15, yeah.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Smith on 3rd down. Jordan Reed has it. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jordan Reed, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is now 10-7. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out comes Ty Montgomery and the rest of his offensive mates to take over. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Looking deep for Adams. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye,
he just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
Extra point try now for Crosby. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Samaje Perine and the offense heading back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the 1st round, late in the 1st round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early in the process. Got a little bit of luck as some guys may have fallen to them. But for the most part, knew their philosophy and stuck to it.
Now Smith. It's brought in by Dodson. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Smith now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Out to the left. It's complete to Dodson. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. On first down, Smith. Packer pressure, and down he goes. The six-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. A shotgun snap for Smith. And Davis with it left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Here's the Redskins now as their kick unit will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. On first down, Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Cobb. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Redskins scoop it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll get started with a couple of teams that are combined 0-8 in Super Bowls. Minnesota hosting Buffalo. And it's the Vikings who are out in front. A touchdown on the ground there for Latavius Murray. From there, let's check on the champs as we're off to Philly to see what's happening with the Eagles. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. A touchdown run there for Jay Ajayi. Finally, we're off to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for the venerable one, Drew Brees. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys lead, though, by only a point. It's been a tight one. As for the start of the third quarter, we'll send it back to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. And some room to maneuver. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way way up to the 45-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Rodgers now on first down. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Hey.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Graham. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Reset, 18. That's fine, yeah. Hurry up.
Montgomery back to the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off the bootleg. Rodgers flushed out right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Crosby puts it through, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a carry for Pirine. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Let's go, yellow.
From the gun, here's Smith. And some room to work. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive. And Rodgers is going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
They're on to the second half now down in Miami. And the Dolphins thinking upset. They lead in that game. Ryan Tannehill with 1 touchdown pass thus far. They go play action here on 1st down. Dotson with a grab over the middle. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, That's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
That's what he's done here in this one so far. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And this is the 10th carry for Ty Montgomery. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And Crosby puts it through, and that will push the lead up to 5. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now to the left here to Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Smith now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Here's Pirine. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. The offense on third down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll run it here with Pirro, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jay Gruden's guys unable to convert on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Oh, spinning away. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Montgomery. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They get it to him running left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Here is Montgomery on 3rd and goal. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And Crosby puts it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith, and Reed with it over the middle. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first. Smith now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Smith. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
3rd and long, it's Smith. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Room here to run. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Well, get reset. Hey, easy. No.
Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And some space here. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Reset. Hey, easy. Over here. 319. Check 26. Check 26. Look at this.
A give. This is Montgomery. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Tackle made there by Mason Foster. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
On third down, they go Montgomery. Spinning away. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah,
still first down.
Easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Green Bay, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.